listening to the Video Game and Nerd Trivia Podcast with Tony D. Video Game and Nerd Trivia Podcast, your episodic dose of trivia covering all things video games and nerdy. Now, here's your host, Tony D.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Video Game and Nerd Trivia Podcast. On today's episode, we're going to be going over 30 questions about horror games from the 2010s. This week is Halloween, so I thought this topic might be of interest. So the way it works is I'll ask you a question, give you 5 seconds of silence, and then tell you the answer. We're going to be breaking it down to 3 rounds of 10 questions. Alright, let's begin. Round 1, question 1. You wake up in the dark in an abandoned castle, and you must explore the eerie surroundings while avoiding terrifying creatures. What game is this? This is Amnesia: The Dark Descent, released in 2010. Question 2. You play as a journalist investigating a psychiatric hospital overrun by deranged inmates, uncovering disturbing secrets along the way. What game is this? This would be Outlast in 2013. Question 3. Set in the alien universe, you must evade a relentless xenomorph while trying to survive on a space station. What game is this? This would be Alien Isolation, released in 2014. Question 4. A group of friends returns to a remote mountain lodge, but their gathering quickly turns into a fight for survival as they face supernatural forces and they have to survive the night. What game is this? This game is Until Dawn, released in 2015. Question 5. You search for your missing wife in a creepy plantation inhabited by cannibals, actually a family of cannibals, and then you also uncover a bioweapon conspiracy. What game is this? This is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, released in 2017. Question 6. You play as Detective Sebastian Castellanos, who is pulled into a nightmarish world filled with grotesque monsters and disturbing realities. What game is this? This would be The Evil Within, released in 2014. Question 7. This game takes place on an underwater, remote research facility containing machinery that exhibits human characteristics such as consciousness. Simon Jarrett, a fish-out-of-water protagonist, finds himself there under mysterious circumstances and embarks on discovering its history, while also trying to make sense of his predicament and potential future. What game is this? This is Soma, released in 2015. Question 8, very popular game. It was a cancelled Silent Hills project demo that takes place in a house that loops over and over in the eerie corridor, and there's also a bunch of unsettling horrors. What game is this? This is PT. I remember having this demo and then it was removed from the store, the PlayStation store, after this whole fiasco with Hideo Kojima. And people were actually reselling their PlayStations that had the PT demo in there for like really high cost because you could no longer get it. Question 9. A small child named Six must escape a nightmarish vessel called the Mall, avoiding grotesque and dangerous inhabitants. What game is this? This is Little Nightmares, released in 2017. And question 10. You explore the city of Yarnam, plagued by mysterious blood-borne illness, and face grotesque beasts and eldritch horrors. What game is this? The title of the game was actually in the hint. It's actually Bloodborne, released in 2015. Alright, let's head into round 2. Question 1. You play as a mentally disturbed painter, navigating his eerie mansion while dealing with his dark past and haunted psyche. What game is this? This is Layers of Fear, released in 2016. Question 2. After a plane crash, you must survive on an island inhabited by cannibalistic mutants while searching for your missing son. What game is this? This game is The Forest, released in 2014. Question 3. As a neuro detective named Daniel Lazarski, in a dystopian future, you delve into the minds of suspects while facing your own traumatic past. You can hack people's brain implants with a device known as the Dream Eater. What game is this? This is Observer, released in 2017. Question 4. Developed and published by Sad Square Studio, this game is set in a strangely structured house with a somber history, and players control Dwayne Anderson as he explores the backstories of inhabitants that once lived there. What game is this? This is Visage. This game started early access in 2018. Question 5. Following the journey of siblings Amnesia and Hugo, they navigate a plague-infested, Inquisition-ravaged France in search of safety. What game is this? This is A Plague Tale: Innocence, released in 2019. Question 6. In a space station, you face hostile alien creatures while unraveling a complex narrative involving experiments and conspiracies. This is an FPS game developed by Arcane Austin and published by Bethesda. What game is this? This is Prey, Prey, released in 2017. Question 7. A medium named Marianne explores both the spirit and real worlds to unravel a dark mystery tied to her own past. What game is this? This is The Medium. Question 8. Isaac Clarke battles nightmarish necromorphs on a space station while confronting his own mental trauma. What game is this? This is Dead Space 2. Question 9. In a dark and unforgiving fantasy world, you battle monstrous creatures and seek secrets of the undead curse in this action RPG by From Software, published by Bandai Namco. What game is this? This is Dark Souls. And question 10. Relive the horror classic as Leon Kennedy and Claire Redfield fight against hordes of zombies and uncover the secrets of Raccoon City. What game is this? It's kind of cheating here, but this game is actually a remake, so it's Resident Evil 2 Remake, which was released in 2019. Alright, let's head into the last round. Question 1. Artyom embarks on a journey across post-apocalyptic Russia, encountering mutants, hostile factions, and the unknown. What game is this? This is Metro Exodus. Question 2. In a zombie-infested open world, you must use parkour skills to survive, scavenge, and help fellow survivors in a quarantined city. What game is this? This is Dying Light. Question 3. Based on H.P. Lovecraft's work, you investigate disturbing mysteries in a town plagued by eldritch horrors. What game is this? Yeah, this was kind of a generic description, but this one I'm referring to as Call of Cthulhu: Dark Corners of the Earth, 2012. Question 4. Again, as Detective Sebastian Castellanos, you enter a nightmarish world to save your daughter from a sinister organization. What game is this? This would be The Evil Within 2. Question 5. Play as a camp counselor trying to survive, or as Jason Voorhees himself, hunting down other players in a multiplayer horror experience. What game is this? This would be Friday the 13th, the game. Question 6. Investigate gruesome crimes as an FBI agent while facing deranged criminals in this first-person psychological horror game. What game is this? This is Condemned: Criminal Origins. Question 7. Special Forces Operative Alma Wade possesses terrifying psychic powers, and you must confront her in these FPS horror games. What game is this? This would be the Fear series, so Fear and Fear 2 Project Origin. Question 8. A zombie survival horror game set in a post-Soviet open world where players must fight for resources and survival. What game is this? This is DayZ. Question 9. Enter the Black Hills Forest to uncover a missing boy's fate while facing supernatural forces and the witch legend. What game is this? This is Blair Witch. And question 10. In a post-apocalyptic world, you play as a courier navigating a divided society, facing mysterious, supernatural phenomena. What game is this? This is Death Stranding. Alright, those were the games, the horror games of the 2010s. There was one game that was actually 2021. Hopefully you guys caught that, but if not, it's one of those. And hope you guys are having a happy Halloween. If you like this episode, please rate us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, anywhere you get your podcast. Again, always feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or X or, the Gmail at vgntpodcast@gmail.com. And suggest me topics if you want. I'll give you a shout out in a future episode, or just let me know how you're doing. How did you like the episode, or what you think needs to be improved? But until next time, thank you again for listening, and trivia on.